listening to the Reckless Takes Podcast, covering sports, lifestyle, and nearly everything in between. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time to get reckless.
Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by freezersports.com. Whether you are a new or experienced sports gambler, if you have not used a consultant site, you are missing out. Freezersports.com utilizes advanced machine learning technology to predict sporting events and find you value lines. Visit the website today, that's freezersports.com, to view their predictions from their NHL, NBA, and MLB models, all for free. Yes, for free. Freezersports.com.
Shut up and sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Reckless Takes Podcast. I am your co-host, Kyle, and I'm here with my buddy,
Randy, aka the Giblet King, coming back at y'all with another one. Missed y'all. Suck a wow.
Okay, and we are here with second-time guest, Taylor.
How's it going, guys?
Good to have you, man. So today we are going to do a podcast I've been looking forward to since we first came up with the idea a while back. We're going to do the NFL win totals over under bets. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to go conference by conference, division by division, team by team, and predict the win totals and punch in our bet for over or under for their total wins on the season. We're also going to play a little game where we each basically have $10,000 allocated to each of us, and we can place any of that money on any of these bets. And at the end of the year, we can kind of reflect on it and see who did the best with their money. I have a strong feeling I'm going to lose all of it because I'm gonna go for the heavy hitters here. So let's jump right into it. Do we have anything else? Any preceding comments about the exercise?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
No. Okay. Thanks, Daddy.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So let's start with the NFC West. So I'm going to open up with the Cardinals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read a few of the opening statistics. So the Cardinals last year went 8-8. They were 4-4 at home and 4-4 away. They, as far as strength of schedule goes for the upcoming season, they're tied for 13th. And let me read off some key additions. I should have had this ready beforehand. So key additions, they added J.J. Watt, Malcolm Butler, A.J. Green. They drafted Rondale Moore. They added James Conner. And some of the losses were Kenyon Drake, Patrick Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald. Like, did Fitzgerald retire? He must have, right?
No, sir. Not yet. He just said, he literally just said 2 days ago that he just doesn't have the urge to play right now. That doesn't mean that he's not going to have the urge to play.
He's like, I'll see about maybe like week 3 or so.
Doesn't really feel like it right now.
Yeah.
All right. So, Randy, let's open up with you. What are your thoughts? I should probably give the over/under total. The predicted win total is 8.5 wins.
I got over. You know, they picked up some key guys. I don't know why people kind of sleep on Kyler Murray. He's a good dude, man. When he can, I know that he's a little inconsistent, but when you have DeAndre Hopkins and, you know, you got AJ Green, who's hopefully stays healthy. Then you got Rondale Moore, who's been a stud in the freaking training camp and the preseason. And then you add guys like JJ, and then you draft Zaven Collins. I think this team, I mean, a lot of people are saying they're not going to win the division, but I honestly think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to win probably 12 games. And I would like to put $100 on that.
12 games.
$100 on the over.
I'll go ahead and also take the over. I have them at 10 wins. I'm actually gonna put 2,000 on this. This is one of the more confident bets I have. They have a super tough division. So I think 12 is really hefty because mathematically that would mean that like the 49ers would need to win 8 games or something, but or one of those teams would have to really tank. But I do like them this year. I think that they still had a really good offense even through inconsistencies, and then you add JJ Watt to bolster up the front line, and they added a couple of other defenders like Malcolm Butler, who's, you know, I'm fine with taking a flyer on the guy like that. So yeah, I'm gonna take the over as well, $2,000.
Yeah, so it's funny this is the first team that you mentioned because I completely disagree with both of y'all 100%. I have the under them winning 8 games. You mentioned Kyler Murray, he is inconsistent. He is a little bit overrated in my opinion. And JJ Watt can't stay healthy to save his life. When was the last
Yeah,
time
that's true.
Watt has played all season? Has he played all season in his career?
I can't argue
Ever?
with that. I'm sure in the beginning.
But the biggest part for me is this division is so good.
Hmm.
You have the Seahawks. It is hard to bet against Russell Wilson. I mean, he's not going to win the Super Bowl, but he'll give you 10 wins by himself. And the Rams, with the addition of Stafford, they're just gonna be airing it out all season. I have them doing really well, and I just have the Cardinals at under with 8 wins, just barely under,
Yeah,
but right there.
I'm still good with where I'm at, but I definitely see your argument. The 49ers last year went 6-10. The Rams went 10-6. I think both those teams probably got better. And the 49ers obviously underperformed because of injuries. And so yeah, I see where there's not a whole lot of room to grow in that division. And the Seahawks probably have a little bit of room for digression because Wilson was off to an unbelievable start and then it kind of went downhill from there a little bit. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. I'm gonna stick with my over.
Same.
So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go first team in each division so that we're not just like we're getting all stale talking about the same division for 20 minutes. So let's go to the NFC North and talk about the Chicago Bears. So the Chicago Bears last season went 8-8. If you remember correctly, they started off 5-1, and there was all this talk about where they stand in contention for the Super Bowl. Obviously, that did not remain the case. The Bears are the third toughest schedule. They had a opponents combined 2020 record of 150 and 120. So obviously not ideal for them. And we get to their key additions. So their additions were Justin Fields, obviously, Andy Dalton. So there's that whole quarterback battle there. Desmond Trufant, Christian Jones, a couple of really good defensive additions. And then they lost Kyle Fuller, Mr. Trubisky, and Buster Skrine. And that's about it. So I would say the additions are definitely more so positive than the losses. Taylor, where do you stand? 7.5,
Yeah,
7.5 being the over under.
I have them under. It's there has to be a division in each conference that's just going to underperform, and I feel like the NFC North is just that division with
Yeah.
the Vikings, Bears, and Lions. It's just not looking too good. I have them with 5 wins, just sort of really right there towards the bottom, not even close to the over under. Not
Is
going to
that
put any
is that
money
like
on it,
is that
but
like a statement on the quarterback's position, or do you think that no matter what, that's just how it's going to be?
yeah, I don't think it matters as far as positions. I mean, as far as they don't really have any offensive weapons that I can think of that. Like, I mean, they have Robinson, right?
Yeah,
Still, or is that
yeah.
it?
They
And
have
that's
Robinson. They have Dave Montgomery.
Darnell
yeah.
Mooney.
I just think in the division with Aaron Rodgers and just I have them going 5 wins.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the under as well. I have them at 7. I think that the division, other than the Packers, is going to be pretty weak. Obviously, the Lions are going to be very good, and the Vikings, I have them middling as well. So I think there's room for a couple of wins. I think that looking at their schedule, it obviously isn't working in their favor. But when you go down team by team, obviously third strength of schedule sounds intimidating. When you go down team by team, I came out with a couple of wins there that I think you wouldn't have pictured last year. I think that Justin Fields is going to be really good. Um, I think Dalton, as if he stays in the lineup past like week 8, that this thing could really take a turn. But I think that if they let Fields in, they let him grow. I think towards the end of the season that he could really blossom, and they'll pull out a few more games than you might think. But I'm still going to take the under by the half game. If it were 7, I think I'd be willing to take the risk on the over. But that's 7.5. Just at that maybe lean under.
Mhm.
My turn.
Yes.
I got the over. I got him winning 10 games. Justin Fields will start by week 3. And everybody's going to see why he's the number 2 quarterback in the draft. It's not Zach Wilson, not Trey Lance, not Mac Jones. It's fucking Justin Fields. I'm really high on the Bears, and you'll see that I'm not too high on the Packers later on when we talk about them.
Dude, okay. Wait, I'm gonna call this right now. Any team that's supposed to be bad, he's gonna take the over.
No,
Any
no,
team
no,
that's
no,
supposed to
no,
be
no.
good.
No.
You're like, I'm taking the under on the Chiefs. I think they're gonna have a really bad year.
They won 8 games with shitty Mitch Trubisky and shitty Nick Foles last season, taking turns. They made the playoffs and almost beat the Saints in the Superdome with shitty Mitch Trubisky and shitty Nick Foles. And I believe that Justin Fields is better than both those guys. So, and then you got a guy like Allen Robinson. You got a guy like Darnell Mooney who's coming up. I think Jimmy Graham's still their tight end. I mean, he played well last year. And then there's defense is still one of the top defenses when you got Khalil Mack, you got Roquan Smith, and then you got Montgomery. This team is going to be a 10-game win season. I can't fucking talk, bro. I'm all jumbled, bro. You fucked me up when you interrupted and said that I was going to choose all the losers. But I got the over, bro. 10 games.
Okay. Are you willing to put money on that one? Because that's you got a 2.5 over there.
Let me look at my budget.
Sure. Yeah, you still have $9,900 left.
I'm gonna put nine. I'm gonna put nine. Good. I'm putting 900 on it.
900. All right, that's a really specific number. All right, let's go to the Falcons. The Falcons went 4-12 last year. Super disappointing. Obviously, they are 30th in strength of schedule with a combined opponent record of 123 and 148. The key additions were Kyle Pitts, obviously, and Mike Davis. Mike Davis is going to be taking him with open arms, considering they were 28th in the run game last year. So hopefully he can help out. Key losses, the big one is Julio Jones. They lost Todd Gurley and Keanu Neal to my Cowboys. I'll start with this one.
Lost everyone.
I'll start with this one. I'm going to take the under. I took a big turn on this as of like 2 months ago. Right before the Julio trade, I had them at the over because this was 8.5 at the time. And I took the over. I liked them to take a big step, considering that I think the division is kind of taking a step back. But the loss of Julio, it's more than just the loss of that player. It kind of tells me the sense of direction of the franchise, and that this could be a stepping stone to a rebuild. And so that's what kind of scares me. I don't see them trying super hard if they don't have some crazy start. If they go 5-1, obviously it's full throttle ahead. But I think that if they go middling 3-3, 4-4, they could take some steps back, maybe make a trade or something. So I'm going to take the under at more or less 6 wins. Randy, you want to
go? I'm going over. Not by much. I think they'll win 8 games. We talked about it when we had, I think it was Jake. I can't remember. It was one of the Jays that were on here. But we talked about how Matt Ryan has an off season, and then he comes in, has a good season, then a bad season. I think this year he'll have a good season. I think Calvin Ridley is going to have a great season. And then Kyle Pitts, who looks really good in videos that have been posted. I think this team will win 8. They're barely going to miss the playoffs. I mean, obviously, I do think they're going to rebuild. So I'll go over, but just 8 games.
Okay. Gotcha. Taylor, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Kyle. I have hard under. I have them at 4 wins.
Wow.
I think that if you do, you can't go good season, bad season forever. Eventually, all seasons just end up bad seasons and you retire. And I think Matt Ryan is kind of done. I think we've seen pretty much the last of him. It's been all downhill since the Super Bowl a few years ago. And yeah, I have him at 4 wins.
Okay.
I know that's 3.5 games under the over/under, but yeah, I don't have any faith in the Falcons.
All right, you gonna put some money on that bitch, or you just gonna talk shit?
No, I'm scared. No, I'm just.
Okay.
I'm also quite the NFC South Saints fan, so that might be a little bias in there.
All right, let's move to the NFC East. I'm gonna start with the Eagles. So I'm just realizing, actually, I think that I didn't even do this on purpose. I think in every division I have 2 over, 2 under, which I guess makes sense. That's probably how it should go. So let's start with the Eagles. So the over-under number is 6.5. Last season they went 4-11-1, which is just speaks to how terrible that division was. The Eagles have the 32nd strength of schedule, so their opponents went 117 and 155. So that is definitely in their favor. And the key additions being Devontae Smith.
And that's really it.
That's really it. Yeah. You got Joe Flacco. Congratulations. So I mean, Flacco isn't a terrible flyer. If something happens to Jalen Hurts, at least you have a semi-capable guy who can come in. They lost Carson Wentz. They lost Malik Jackson, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. Randy, you want to start this one?
Yeah, I got you said it was you said
6.5.
Yeah. I got him going way under. I got him winning like one game, to be honest.
Wow.
I got the sense of like for some reason they're not 100% all in on Jalen Hurts. This new head coach did not draft Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie, Joe Flacco, I mean, it's preseason. He kind of looks all right. So I got a sense that they're gonna fucking put Flacco in and Jalen Hurts and they're gonna switch it up a lot. I got them winning one. This team is a shit show. They're like the Texans, but you'll see. You'll be real surprised about my Texans later. But
Interesting.
But one game. I think they're shitty. They're a shitty organization.
So you got to put money on that, right?
Yeah, I'm putting a whole $9,000 on it.
Are you really?
Okay.
Hell yeah, baby.
All right, $9,000. Well,
Okay.
Randy's leaving the casino at 10 p.m. I'm done.
Yeah, I know. A loser.
All right, Taylor, what do you think?
Can I borrow
I
some
don't
money?
agree. I don't know that I agree with one win. But when's the last time the Eagles finished last in the division? It's got to be over 10 years, right? I have them under. I have them at 4 wins, last in the division. I agree with what Randy said. Doesn't seem like they really know what they want who they want their quarterback to be. And even if it is Jalen Hurts, I'm not all that impressed by him. You know, he's another like overrated running quarterback, which is, I believe, most running quarterbacks are overrated or can't last. And so I just, with the division that isn't all that great, but still everybody else in the division is just considerably better than them. I have them last at 4 wins.
Okay, I'm going to take the slight over. I have them at 7. I looked at this division really closely, obviously, because I have a lot of interest in the Cowboys. So, yeah, I'm going to take the slight over, and that's more of a testament to how I feel about a couple of the other teams. But I'm actually running the opposite on Jalen Hurts. I've kind of changed my opinion on him over this offseason. I think that he has full trust of the Eagles as of right now. I don't think there's any talk of Joe Flacco coming in and taking over his position. And there's a whole lot of talk, and I kind of waver on how my feelings of it. There's a lot of talk about his presence in the locker room. I don't know if you guys have seen the posts about but there's the one about Jalen Hurts stops his teammates in the locker room and quizzes them on the offense. And I just read it as Jalen Hurts is an asshole. Because if I was a 27-year-old receiver and this kid's stopping me and what route do you run in this play? I'm shut the fuck up. Yeah. But for whatever reason, I think that the locker room is responding to Jalen Hurts, and I think he does have the full trust. And I'm kind of a believer in him, at least in an offense where it's being tailored around him. I don't think he's someone that could be traded tomorrow to the Packers and be let's win some ball games. But I think that it's kind of like a baby Lamar Jackson situation where if they really do build this offense around him, that he can win some games. So I'm going to take the over. I'm definitely not going to be putting any money on it because I have a slight over by a half game. But yeah, that's that.
Wow. Just wow. Jalen Hurts.
I was surprised by your Jalen Hurts take. I thought that you were going to be
I know. I like him. It's just I just don't believe the Eagles are on him.
Okay.
The locker room might be with him, but I just think the organization and the staff is not all on him.
Fair enough. All right.
It is what it is.
Let's move back to the NFC West to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams last season in that crazy division went 10-6. As far as strength of schedule, they are 10th, so close to middle of the road. They obviously added Matthew Stafford. They added Deshaun Jackson, which is something that I did not know until I read it right now. They lost Jared Goff. They lost Josh Reynolds, Gerald Everett, their starting center, Austin Blythe. So I don't think any huge detractors as far as losses. I'm gonna start here. I have them under, slightly under, and obviously that's more because I'm pretty heavily over on the Cardinals, and so that's just how this has to go. If you're high on someone in the division, you have to be lower on someone else. I'm a believer that Matthew Stafford is going to succeed in this offense, and I think the defense is going to be great. It's literally just a testament to how tough the division is. I think that while Stafford will succeed, he lacks a little bit of the playmaking ability that becomes crucial in huge situations. I think that, guys like Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes and Kyler Murray and so on, they just have the ability to make some crazy plays when things get tough. And I'm not huge on Matthew Stafford's ability to do any of that anymore. So I'm going to take the slight under at 10 wins.
Wow.
Taylor, what do you think?
Well, so I don't know if you've noticed, but every pick so far I've picked under, and I have this as a hard over. I have them winning the division with 12 wins. I like the addition to Jackson. I like Stafford coming and actually being able to throw the ball deep to these great receivers that they have. And I like Sean McVay, and I just think that I've always hated the Rams ever since that 2019 conference championship game against the Saints. But I have them winning the division, 12 wins over, and I want to put $1,000 on that.
$1,000.
Wow.
What do you think, Randy?
I got them going over, not a lot, just 11 wins. I think this division is going to be that division this season that's going to have multiple teams with 10 plus wins. The NFC South was that division a few years ago when they had Falcons, Saints, and Panthers when the Bucs sucked. But I think Stafford, I believe in Stafford. And if he doesn't do good this year, then I won't believe anymore. Like we've already talked about it. This is like that.
Fucking, this is your last goddamn chance.
It's like, prove it to me. You got Robert Woods, you got Cooper Kupp. Deshaun Jackson's still a fast fuck. Even your top running backs hurt, but your backups are still good. You're not good, but they get shit done. I think Sean McVay is a fucking smart coach. I think they have potential to win a Super Bowl. I think this team should be a heavy favorite to win it. I think the Cardinals will win the division, but I think the Rams will go farther in the playoffs because I think Matthew Stafford's a stud. He's just a shitty organization.
I'm really regretting putting any money into this division because I put 2,000 on the Cardinals, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, I don't know if that was smart. I think that things can go so crazy in this. I'm really regretting it. But I'm gonna stick with it. I'm a fucking man.
Hell yeah.
So let's move to the Detroit Lions. This one should be easy. Last year they were 5-11. They have tied for the 6th strength of schedule this upcoming season. They added, this says big additions, Jared Goff. Yeah, okay. Maybe. They drafted Penei Sewell, the best lineman in the class. They added Jamal Williams, so that's exciting. They lost Matthew Stafford, Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, so basically their entire offense. Adrian Peterson, Justin Coleman, Desmond Trufant. So way more losses than meaningful additions. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to take the under. I'm going to put them at 3 wins. I'm not huge on this division. I just think that they're going to lose fucking everything. And I think those 3 wins are going to be very hard fought. 5-11 seems generous for last year. If you would have asked me, I would have guessed 3 wins. So this is going to be pretty easy under for me, and I'm going to put 2,000 on it.
Wow.
Someone else talk about them.
I'll go ahead. I got under. I think they're going to be the first ever 0-17 team.
No way.
Yeah, I think this
that would be a great prediction if that happens.
This is absolutely a dog shit team. The head coach, Dan Campbell, did come from the Saints, but I do not think he's going to be a good head coach. Penei Sewell in his first preseason game looked like shit.
I did not watch.
He looked so bad. And they have the 6th toughest schedule. So, Jared Goff is good, but he doesn't really have weapons. They lost Scarlett. He got him to the Super Bowl, but
I think that was the most bullshit Super Bowl appearance by a quarterback I've seen in a long time.
It should have been the fucking Saints. It should have been the Saints, baby, but it wasn't.
It literally should have been the Saints. Yeah.
We can do it.
They changed the rules.
We won't get into that. I'll get fucking angry and punch something.
I think both of our teams here, the Cowboys and the Saints, have been on the shitty position of something happening and the next year the rule being changed because of it. And it's the worst fucking feeling. And it's like, no, you can't repair. You
Well,
can't repair what's been done.
For years, it was like
It's too late.
5 years later. So it hurt
No,
even
they
more.
changed the Des Bryant catch rule the next year.
I thought it was
I mean,
like
they-
2 to 3.
They've changed it again since then.
Oh,
But the next
Yeah,
year
and
they
they
made like
already changed back the Saints rule too.
yeah.
they changed it back.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't challenge
they're
PI.
not doing that anymore.
Oh Jesus, I thought you could.
Yeah,
we
no, you
got, we
tried
got
to
an
a
argument
nightmare.
about that in Madden the other day.
Yeah, 0 wins, man.
Can I just say Madden 22 sucks so much?
Yeah, we can do a whole podcast on that shit.
All right. Anything else to say about the Lions?
Well, you didn't even let your friend
Yeah.
Taylor go,
Oh,
sir.
sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
I have the under. I have
That's
the
gonna
under as
happen
well.
like 10 more times, by the way.
I also have 3 wins. They just got worse. They're in a crappy division as it is, and then they just got worse. So
Yeah,
3 wins, no discussion.
that's easy. Okay. Let's move to the Panthers.
If y'all see me on my phone, it's because I'm waiting for the Spider-Man trailer. It's supposed to be dropping here shortly.
Whenever it does, we'll pause this and we'll watch it.
Or we can just stay live and watch it all together and just mute us, and then they can just see our reactions. All right. All right then.
All
Go
right.
to the next
It's
one,
just
please.
gonna be me like stoic.
All right. So the Carolina Panthers last year, they went 5-11. They have the tied for 26th best strength of schedule for this upcoming season. And by the way, the lower the number, the easier the schedule, if that hasn't been clear. Sam Darnold
Oh, really?
is their biggest addition. Are you being serious?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah. So like tied for 6th strength of schedule. I should say easy and hardest. Tied for 6th means that they have the 6th hardest strength of schedule. And 32nd
Oh.
means that they have the easiest schedule.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah, okay.
You just said lowest number. I got you.
Lower number is better for the team.
Yes.
Yes.
No, wait. Is it
Yeah.
1 lower than 6?
So the lower the number is better for the team because the Cowboys have the
No. You're the higher the number, sir.
Oh shit, sorry. Yeah. I'm okay. I
Okay.
was thinking it as of like the list I was seeing and like the lowest
Yeah.
number is the lowest on my screen. I'm a fucking
got you.
idiot if anyone's wondering. So the
Okay.
Panthers added Sam Darnold. They drafted J.C. Horn and Terrace Marshall. They also added Hassan Reddick. The losses: Curtis Samuel, quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. They lost safety Trey Boston. They lost Russell Okung. Randy, is he still any good? You're like my offensive lineman guy.
He's all right. I mean, he's
He
a guy
was
that-
great at one point.
Yeah, at one point. I mean, he's a guy a veteran that can go in and help you.
Okay.
I mean, but like he's not like a fucking oh my god, Akun. He's fucking killing him
Yeah.
every game. He's
All
hurt
right.
half the year
I
anyway.
suspect this one is going to be very exciting. Randy, what do you have for the Panthers? Their over/under is 7.5.
I got him going. I got him under only 6 wins, but I do think the Panthers they're heading in the right direction. I still like Sam Darnold. I have hope for Sam Darnold. I like Terrace Marshall. Of course, he's an LSU guy. Chuba Herbert. I mean, if McCaffrey does go down, he's going to be a stud. It just, Mike Davis had a good year. So when he went down, I think they're heading in the right direction. I just don't think it's this season. The NFC South is fucking tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you had them at 6, you said?
yeah, 6 wins.
Okay.
Especially, 6 wins. I'm tripping. Yeah, six. And J.C. Horn looks like he's going to be a solid guy too. So.
Yeah. I just don't think that, like a guy like that isn't someone who's going to be like a real impact player in his first year.
Oh yeah, nah, hell no.
Taylor, what do you think about the Panthers?
I also have them under. I have them just there with the Falcons at 4-13. Again, pretty heavy under, but that's because I'm really big on the other 2 teams in this division.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not a big McCaffrey fan. I'm not a big running
I'm
back
not
fan
surprised
as it
that
is.
you're calling the over on the Saints, by the way.
Well, yeah, we'll get to it, but it's not a heavy over. It's just the over-unders low on the Saints.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with 4 wins for the Panthers.
4. Okay. I'm going to take a slight under. I have them at 7. I, as we will talk about, am not huge on the Saints. So that's what kind of edged me to the to 7 wins, although like in my gut I wanted to go lower. Yeah, I agree. I think that they are headed in the right direction. I think that I don't know Sam. I can't decide if Sam Darnold if they're really bought into him as the guy going forward or just a bridge quarterback. I think that was the sexiest story for so long was where Sam Darnold was going to go, and so the whole world just kind of like bought into the quarterback of the future thing. I'm not so sold on it, but definitely for this year,
It's
I
all
think
going to
that
be if he does good this season, they're definitely going to sign him to an extension. I think because that's usually what happens. I mean, fucking Mike Glennon played good, and then he got a big
Mike
contract.
Mike Glennon.
Fucking Glennon.
So yeah, nothing super sexy here. I'm gonna take this slight under, like I said, at 7. Not super confident in it though. Let's go to the New York Giants. They went 6-10 last year and were almost first in the division. They have, as you'll see, pretty much anyone in the NFC East has a very easy schedule. They are 25th in strength of schedule. The key additions were Kenny Galladay, Kyle Rudolph. They drafted Kadarius Toney. They lost a bunch of fucking no ones. They lost Kevin Zeitler, who's still a pretty good offensive lineman, I guess. They lost Golden Tate and someone named David Mayo, who I've never heard of in my life.
Hey, linebacker, baby. Don't sleep on him.
He's solid.
Pretty sure he's a basketball player.
Yeah, and brother of OJ Mayo. You know, OJ Mayo is still balling out in the Chinese league.
No, he's coming to the Rockets.
He's average.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start with the Giants. I had them under at 6. I'm pretty confident in this one. I think that someone said the Eagles, one of y'all said the Eagles were clearly going to be the worst in the division. That's how I feel about the Giants. I think that it's obviously going to be a battle between those two for the title of the worst division. But I'm pretty confident Daniel Jones is going to continue to be just a middling young quarterback. Are you high on Daniel Jones, Randy?
You want me to go?
You're making a face over there. Sure. Take it away.
I got him over winning 11 games.
No, you do.
Ooh,
No, you do
No way.
not. No,
You know-
that's
don't.
upsetting.
You know how hard I talk about Daniel Jones every single time he comes up. I like Daniel Jones. If he plays good this year without fumbling the fucking ball, they're going to win the division. And
Where
you're
did you
gonna be
put
really-
your other 9,000?
We put it on Philadelphia under,
yeah.
This,
which is just as well, I guess.
This is you
Let's just
should have
split
put
it.
all you should have put all your money on this.
Let's split it 4,500 each.
Oh my god!
But I think you're gonna be really mad at my Cowboys for over under.
Yeah, I can tell because you just fucking gave Daniel Jones 11 wins.
Hey, you're gonna be fucking shocked, baby. Hey, they were
Shit.
one Eagles loss away. I mean, Eagles went away from winning the division last year, baby.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking
I
about
know.
wins.
The win's gonna be 11.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
reckless take of the fucking podcast,
Yeah,
baby.
of the fucking century. Jesus
That's
Christ!
Hell
This
yeah.
is up there with Blazers to the finals.
Hey, Blazers win in the finals next year. Don't sleep.
Okay,
Trust
Taylor.
me.
Taylor, can I hear some? I feel like the episode of The Office when Jim and Pam are on vacation and Oscar doesn't know where to find reason. Taylor, give me some reason, please.
You're not going to find much reason for me.
Oh, no.
I am going over with the Giants as well. I'm not going 11 wins, but I am going 8. Not a lot of thought went into this pick. I don't like Washington. I don't like the whole vibe in that organization, and I like Daniel Jones. I have something for white quarterbacks.
If you didn't say that, I was gonna say it.
Right. I was going to say it about Randy, and then I realized I'm pretty much the same way. So I'll go ahead and admit it. But, he hasn't been all that impressive, but he did finish better than the Cowboys last
Every
season.
time Jalen Hurts takes a
So-
snap, you're just like, get back in the goddamn pocket.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I cheer rules for Wentz.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'll be the guy to fucking
that's-
say under, but that's fine with me.
Yeah, because do you have the Cowboys at like 15 wins or something?
17-0.
No, I don't.
Hmm.
But I'm just like I'm slightly higher on the other two teams that aren't called the Eagles and the Giants. I think that both those teams are going to be fucking terrible. I guess that's a little dramatic because I had them at 6 wins, but I don't think that I definitely wouldn't say they're going to be good. All right, let's go to the we haven't done the 49ers yet, right? I don't think so.
I'm not done the Niners.
All right, let's go to the 49ers. Last season, they were 6-10, last in the division. but that's not something that obviously we're going to take a lot of stock in considering how good the division is. They are tied for 19th in strength of schedule. Their opponents in 2020 were just about even 132 and 138. Key additions, Trey Lance. That's going to be an interesting conversation. And then just some offensive linemen, basically. They lost Richard Sherman. Where did Richard Sherman go? Is he not playing right as of right now?
Went to jail. That's about it.
See, I'm assuming he got out of there.
Something happened.
He's not.
Oh
he's,
yes, the banging on the girlfriend's door
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
He's not with no team right now.
So we'll see what happens with Richard Sherman. Not
He's
a,
on-
player role model right
not
there.
a huge loss at this point.
He's on probation.
I'll tell you what. Any Madden franchise, when Richard Sherman's a free agent, I sign that bitch.
Yeah,
I
me too.
I like him in my locker room. Get him in there.
I signed Colin Kaepernick too, baby.
They lost Tevin Coleman. They lost. they lost Tevin Coleman. They lost Kendrick Bourne. All hail Nick Mullins. So I'll go and start with them. I'm pretty confident in this under, and I feel like I have to be because I really like where the other teams are going to be. I'm really high on the Cardinals. I put 2,000 there. We'll get to the Seahawks. I'm pretty high on them. And even though I took the under on the Rams, it was a slight under. One of these teams has to have a bad year. It's just how it is. And it's never a horrendous year, but it has to be underperformed. I think it's going to be the 49ers. I'm just not super confident in Jimmy G. I think that Trey Lance can be a difference maker, but he's not going to come in and be a 10-win guy off the rip. I'm going to take 7 wins here, and it's more just testament to how great the division is. What do you think, Randy?
I got under by 0.5. They're going to win 10 games. So I got Cardinals 12, Rams 11, 49ers 10. Jimmy G will get hurt by like week 2. And I think Trey Lance, I mean, what I'm seeing from training camp and preseason, and obviously we shouldn't get excited for that shit, but I'm a fan of football, so of course I'm
It's
going
hard
to get
not
excited.
to.
I mean, he can throw the fucking ball, and when he throws it deep, it's accurate as shit. I mean, from what I know from college, his one season, he didn't throw no picks. He's smart. I think Jimmy G will get hurt because he's a pussy. But I got him winning 10, and they will go to the playoffs. They won't do nothing in the playoffs, but they'll get there.
Also, I'm going to put 1,000 on this one. I just decided that.
I'm probably going to put a cookie or something. I'm out of money.
So I'm at 5,000 remaining for the record. All right, Taylor, what do you think about the 49ers?
Yeah, I actually agree with Randy. I have them at 10 wins under. This over-under is high.
It is.
I mean, you look at this whole division, I mean, 10, what do you got? 11, 10 and a half, 10 and a half, 8 or whatever.
It's 10.5, 10.5, 10, 8.5.
8 and a half, yeah. So I have them under, but that's still on my board, puts them at third in the division with 10 wins. The division's too strong. And I agree with what you said about Jimmy G. He is the highest paid pussy in the country right now. And well, I mean, there is Nick Foles up doing third string in Chicago, but
the highest paid pussy in the country. That's fucking hilarious.
I'll agree with Randy on that, but no money here.
I feel like
division too volatile.
I feel like the Cards and the 49ers over-unders are just based on like team reputation because I really think they should be flip-flopped. I honestly think that 10.5 for the Cardinals and 8.5 for the 49ers makes more sense. But I feel like the 49ers are just so rock solid over the years that's where that number comes from. Because I agree. I think it's really high.
I mean, their roster is fucking stacked.
I feel like it's stacked with solid placeholders. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of other than a couple on the defense. I don't think there's a whole lot of that guy is going to be top 10 in his position.
Debo, baby.
Yeah, Debo is not a top 10 in his position either.
He could be.
Yeah, I guess there's top 10 upside. I'll give you that. All right, let's go to the Packers, probably the most talked about team this offseason. I'm gonna have to cut this out because I didn't have any of these stats ready. Okay. The Packers went 13-3 last season in a pretty average division, below average division. But they have the 4th highest strength of schedule. Their opponents were 154 and 127 last season. And key additions and losses, as of right now, they still have Aaron Rodgers. We'll see if that changes. They added a couple of defensive players. Devondre Campbell, Eric Stokes.
Yes, sir.
And
Nailed
they added Randall
Amari
Cobb
Rodgers.
at gunpoint from Aaron Rodgers. And they lost Jamal Williams. They lost Corey Linsley, their center. I don't even think he's their starting center. Another offensive lineman, nothing crazy. If I haven't already said this, I really wish I could have gotten Randall Cobb in fantasy. He was taken as a joke as the number 1 pick in our league, which is fucking awesome for the state of our league. But I would have loved to have gotten Randall Cobb as a late flyer because Aaron Rodgers is just gonna force feed this dude the ball out of pettiness. I have a really strong opinion about this one, but I kind of want to go last. Taylor, what do you think about the Packers?
Well, I have them over. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers on a mission. He is still the reigning MVP. I agree with what you said about Randall Cobb. I think that he's going to be firing into him. I got him
At all
16th
times.
round in my other
Dude,
league.
yeah, that's great. Was that a
they just-
redraft or was that a dynasty?
It was a redraft, and
Okay.
I guess everybody just kind of forgot he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked him up last pick. I have them 14 wins. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong team here. Oh yeah, I have them 14 wins as well.
14.
Which is 14. Yeah, I see them steamrolling over everyone, including week 1 against the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think I would not be surprised to see this team in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers, I could see Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady winning the Super Bowl this year and retiring after this season.
Wow.
I feel like that'd be a really good.
We pretty much have to operate as if Aaron Rodgers is going to be here going forward. It seems like the dust has kind of settled, at least for this season. And it seems like there's a mutual agreement of let's get through this season and then kind of do this all over again next. And kind of a under the table handshake there. Randy, what do you think about the Packers?
Shit, under.
I
As much as I love Aaron Rodgers and as much as I would love to see the Green Bay Packers finally win another one, just the drama and all the bullshit that happened this offseason with Devontae Adams, with fucking Aaron Rodgers, I think they're going to win 6 games. And
what?
And I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers' worst seasons he's had in a long, long time. I mean, I know when people hear this, you're like, this dude's a fucking retard. I mean,
He always has to sneak that word in once, at least
sorry.
once.
It's like the F word.
He's a mentally challenged guy.
They may think I'm a frittata, but or a mongoloid, one of those.
A mongoloid.
But I mean, I think the drama and all that shit's gonna hurt them. And I mean, their team's not like their offense is not that good. I mean, they have Devontae Adams.
Yeah, we say that every year, and Aaron Rodgers says that every year, and then they still somehow go out there and win 12, 13 games.
I mean, their division's a shitty ass division too. Let's be honest.
I would give you the under on 10. I'm kind of shocked at the under at 6.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they win 14 fucking games.
That's just.
But I'm also not going to be surprised if they lose. They only win 6 games, and then Rodgers, his contract I think is voidable or some shit. And
pencil me in as fucking shocked if they win 6 games.
Hey, if they only win 6 games, remember it here. The Giblet King said it.
I'm gonna take the over at 12. So I get what you're saying. The attitude in the organization is obviously at like an all-time low. They're this super esteemed franchise, but the whole thing about Aaron Rodgers coming out in the press conference and basically calling out the franchise or the front office for just having terrible player relations, it's obviously trending in a rough direction. I just think that when you take Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, doesn't matter how pissy they're being, I think that they're going to ball out. And I'm pretty confident in this over. I don't know how crazy it's going to hit. And I don't think I'll put any money on it, but you know what? Fuck that. My money where my mouth is. I'm going to put 1,000 on this. I'm pretty confident that they can get at least 11 wins. Especially in a division where I'm pretty down on 2 of the other teams. I get where you're coming from because you had to, you kind of have to do this if you're going to be so high on like the Bears. But you don't have to, but it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, if we could debate it for a second, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put $1,000 on it. And I think there's a really important thing that goes into this. First of all, it's 10.5. That's really low for the Packers, and it's a 17-game season.
Yeah,
I mean,
for real.
they're in a really bad division, and they're going to win 11 games. I mean, I don't see. It looks like your couch is having a party back there, Kyle.
Why do you say that?
You're something in front of you was like making a bunch of colors. Yeah, and so I just don't see any possible way that this team doesn't at least win 11, and that's why I have them at 14.
Let's see. I'm gonna read off here.
Yeah, what's their strength of schedule?
The strength of schedule was I lost it. I think it was 7th.
Yeah, so
I don't remember if I read it off in the first place or not.
They have the
They're fourth. Yeah.
fourth easiest.
The fourth hardest.
fourth hardest.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they have to play the Saints and they have to play the Bucks.
So I'm looking here at the previous seasons. The Packers went 13-3 last year, 13-3 the year before, and then there was a 6-9 and 7-9 and 2 in a row. What happened in those seasons? Was Aaron Rodgers hurt or something?
That's when he hurt his
got
shoulders.
injured the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
So
one of those.
So that's what one of those is. I'm
That
sure
was just the season with the miraculous Bears game.
I was really hoping for like,
and then they lost the rest of them.
I was going to this list for like some evidence to be like, Randy, they haven't lost that many games in this long, but it was like 3 years ago. So no evidence there. All right, let's go to the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be y'all's favorite topic.
I just want to let you know that Tobey Maguire is confirmed.
How do you know this?
You know the black teacher in the movie, JB Smoove, I guess that's his name.
Okay,
JB Smoove.
They asked him in the interview who is his favorite Spider-Man to work with, and he said Tobey Maguire by a long shot.
No way.
Yeah, let me send it to
Are
you.
we sure he wasn't in those Sam Raimi movies though?
Let me see.
I mean, he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. No, because they asked him who is his favorite to work with in No Way Home. I'm gonna send you the link. I guess I can send you the
ask him
group chat.
that.
That's fucking crazy. That's what
They
they
would- I mean,
that
they-
would be.
I mean, they want to get people to spoil shit. I mean, Mark Ruffalo, he spoiled
Also,
a bunch of shit.
Trailer's supposed to be out in like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
So that's
6
pretty
minutes.
exciting.
I just sent it.
All right.
Sorry,
let's
guys.
go.
We're also nerds and we
Yeah.
like Spider-Man.
Let's go to the Saints. The Saints.
Let me
went-
talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. The Saints went 12-4 last season. They have the 22nd strength of schedule, so their opponents went 130 and 140. Key additions, not a whole lot. I don't know if you know any of these names, but I sure don't.
Peyton Turner is like the only one I wrote down, and then
Okay.
some franchise tag and Marcus Williams.
All right, they lost Drew Brees, obviously. That's the big story here. They
Who's
lost
that?
Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, Quan Alexander, Malcolm Brown, a couple of
No.
Jan-
Quan's back.
Janoris- Oh,
Quan's
Quan
back.
Alexander came back?
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
resigned. for
Okay,
like a 1 year deal.
that's good because that would have been a bigger one. They lost Janoris Jenkins. So a couple of defenders there. I'm going to let you guys take this one away first because obviously you have stronger opinions than me.
So their over under is 9 wins, and
Those even numbers, I like them.
well, they're odd. So
Oh, well, sorry, you know what I mean? Like without 0.5, thanks.
but I'm a
Well, they're
huge
easier to hit.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then easier to push.
huge- What's up, baby? I'm a huge Saints fan. I'm
I
a
think
fucking
that
diehard-
honestly. I'm just
Okay, you
kidding.
know what?
I'm
The
just kidding.
Cowboys suck. They're going 0-17. Fuck off. But you're gonna be really surprised here. I'm going under.
Wow.
I think
like
they're
it.
gonna. I think they're gonna win 4 to 5 games.
Wow.
A lot. As much as I like Jameis, just like seeing training camps and obviously preseason, our situation fucking sucks. Like from a fan's perspective, our situation sucks. Like what's going on with Michael Thomas? He got surgery like a week before the season started. It seems like he hates the organization one day.
Yeah.
The next day he had a good conversation with Sean Payton. Crab legs, last time he started, he threw 3 interceptions. And then
Yeah,
Taysom Hill, who the fuck is Taysom Hill? Dude fucking can't throw the ball.
I feel what you're saying about like just how crappy it is to be a fan right now, because there's nothing worse than not having your quarterback of the future. And whether Taysom or Jameis look okay this season, they're obviously not the future at the position. That's the worst position to not have your guy going forward.
Especially, go ahead.
I think of any position in all sports, in the NBA and in baseball, just there's nothing like not having a quarterback.
Like I really wanted to be biased here. I wanted to say we were going to go 17-0, but as a fan of football, you just know like this is going to be the season where it's going to go all downhill. I mean, Sean Payton might even get fucking fired after this season. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those situations where we might just start all over, which would suck. I'd probably cry.
Yeah, at some point, no matter how good a coach is, we just saw this with Rick Carlisle in the NBA. Doesn't matter how good of a coach you are, at some point your voice it loses its meaning. Yeah. And it's actually very similar to Rick Carlisle, because the Saints haven't done a whole lot since that Super Bowl win. Rick Carlisle, his Mavericks hadn't done a lot since that finals win. So it's similar in a lot of ways. And I never thought about that, but I kind of agree with you.
I mean, we get there. We went to the NFC Championship, and if the ref would have called the flag, we probably would have went and won the Super Bowl. And then the year after that, we another PI call with Kyle Rudolph, and then year before that, fucking Marcus Williams doesn't know what a tackle is. And
in fairness, I disagree on the Kyle Rudolph call. Me and Taylor argued about this for a while, I think. But
so look, the reason I'm mad about it is because they called it on us earlier in the game. The same exact shit happened.
Okay, that's fair then.
It's gonna suck. This season as a Saints fan is gonna hurt me a lot. I pray to the football gods that we fucking somehow Jameis Winston comes out and becomes the next Patrick Mahomes for this season. But sad days, bro. Sad days. I'll let my fellow Saints fan, Taylor, who I'll be sucking up later, go ahead.
What the fuck?
Well, all right. Ignoring that part, I'm not gonna really get into it that much. I mean, I took the over, but only at 11 or 10 wins. It was originally 11 when I did this research a few months ago, but then Michael Thomas went ahead and just decided he was going to wait till the last second to get surgery.
That's a crazy story.
Which I'll just ignoring as just wide receivers being wide receiver divas like they always are. Like name one top 10 wide receiver that wasn't an asshole for no reason.
Actually, I agree with you. I mean, maybe Hopkins. He was traded against his will.
Hopkins is a good dude. But yeah, so he'll be back in the middle of the season, right after the bye week 7, and the Saints can turn it on from there. Jameis Winston's lighting it up right now as we speak. Couple touchdowns already. He's looking good. He's going to be the starter.
Callaway's looking good.
Him.
I saw a news story. By the way, Lawrence is having a pretty good drive down the field as we count down the seconds until we watch a Spider-Man trailer. That's what this game's all about, right? Sorry, what was I saying? Jesus, continue. I completely lost it.
No worries. But the root of it for me, the over, it's a 17-game season,
Yeah.
And 9 is just not that high of a number. The Saints have won more than 9 games, I believe, the last 5 seasons. And Drew Brees played like dick last year, right? I mean, we all saw him.
Like shit. Oh my God.
I couldn't believe anyone, because there's some guys like Tom Brady that I joke about a lot with. I think he's losing his arm strength, but it's like when he needs to show it, he shows it. Breeze literally could not have like any worse of an arm than he had last year.
Horrible.
Yeah, and he was gone for half the season. Was that this past season or the season before?
Season before, but I know he was hurt last season as well. When Taysom started like 4 games.
2 seasons ago, he broke his finger, and last season he broke his ribs. And this team didn't miss a beat. And so I'm confident that they can get to 9 wins, if not, and I have them at 10. So that's why, and I'm putting 3,000 on that.
I hope you're correct, sir. I really do as a fan. I hope you're correct.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pause really quick. Hold on one second.
Marcus Callaway looks fucking so good too, man.
All right, sorry about that pause, guys. We are back. We had to take a sip of our drinks, do a little tinkle, and watch the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which was fucking awesome. But that will be a conversation for another time. Let's go to the Dallas Cowboys. It's finally time. This was going to be the first team I was going to talk about, but I was like, that comes off a little biased. So the Dallas Cowboys last season went 6-10. Total fluke. Just get right into it. The Cowboys have the second easiest schedule next season, right in front of the Eagles. Combined opponent record of 122 and 148. The key additions, they drafted Micah Parsons to help and Kelvin Joseph to help a completely dog shit defense. They got Keanu Neal, who was their biggest free agent addition. Defensive tackle Brett Urban, and Malik Hooker. They lost Awuzie, Alden Smith, Xavier Woods, Tyrone Crawford, and Andy Dalton. I will start here. I have the Cowboys over at 11 wins, and I'm obviously going to be high on the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys, but I also think that this division is pretty terrible. I'm pretty even on the Washington football team, but I'm pretty low on the Eagles and Giants. So it just makes sense that they would win 11. Obviously, this is contingent entirely on injuries. If Dak can't stay healthy, this is instantly a terrible bet. If Zeke goes down, actually, I'm a little more confident there because I like Tony Pollard a lot. But I don't love where the defense went. They got a couple of nice additions, but they also lost, 3 completely competent players as well. So I think the defense is pretty much even coming out of this offseason. But I am fairly confident in this division that they'll go over. I'm going to go ahead and put 2,000 on this just because I think 9.5 in a 17-game season, assuming everyone's healthy, is still just pretty low. Randy, go ahead and give me your fucking Cowboys take. I'm going to guess 5 wins.
Oh, now since you said 5, I'm going to go 4. I got under at 6 wins.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Kyle. Obviously, I'm high on the Giants. So that means I have to be low on another team in this division. And it's not going to be
the Washington chose the Cowboys?
Team. I mean, it's the fucking Cowboys. Like, come on. I mean, y'all have the best receiving core in the league, and y'all probably won't do shit with it. Dak's probably going to get hurt week 5. Zeke's going to fumble a few more times. This is coming off because I'm a fucking Cowboy hater. I hate him.
I know you are.
Like, I hate him.
Rent free.
If I could
free.
If I can piss on Jerry Jones' face right now, I would.
Jerry Jones is the best owner in football.
Yeah, anyways. Yeah, you're drunk as shit.
No, I stand by that. I will say it again and again.
Holy shit.
I think that the Cowboys have had a lot of unfortunate events, and that Jerry Jones, his only downfall is that he doesn't hire a GM. But if you ranked all the GMs in the NFL, he still wouldn't be the worst GM because there have been a lot of teams that have been a lot worse than the Cowboys over the past few seasons. And he is by far the owner in football that wants to win the most. And sometimes there are downfalls that come from that. But I kind of stand with him where I stand with Mark Cuban, where he's probably too involved, but he wants to win really fucking bad, and I respect that.
Sucks that they can't win, though. Well, since you said that, I'm going to go to 4 wins.
You're a fucking asshole, bro.
And if I had money, if I had 10 grand left, I wish we did this first.
I know you spent it in the first 5 minutes of the fucking podcast. So
we still have a whole other conference.
Hey, and by the end of the season, I'll be a millionaire.
Randy's like, wait, I don't get 10,000 for the AFC too.
I mean, well, since it's a separate video, we could do 10 more thousand.
All right, Taylor, what is your Cowboys take?
Well, first off,
Please
Randy was insane for the 11-win New York Giants thing. I just think we need to go back to that, talk about that again. And also, isn't the worst GM does not translate to the best owner?
No. I think that I'm just saying that I think that he's the best owner, and so
not the
his main downfall is that he doesn't hire GM, but even still, he's not the worst GM, is what I was saying. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're right. They don't directly correlate. I just wanted to talk about Jerry Jones. I like him a lot.
I just don't like him because they'll never let there be a team in San Antonio. So,
yeah, ever.
As long as he's alive.
Yeah. And he's fucking grooming his little mini-me. So I think we got a couple of generations to go.
We'll just kill him.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if that plane goes down, you're at the FBI's number 1 suspect.
Yeah, if something happens, Randy set this up.
I still got
either
your
way,
take.
I agree with you.
I would take that, to be honest.
11.
11. There we
11.
go. There we
I mean,
go.
Holy
it's a
shit.
17 game problem again.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not
That's-
going to not win 9.5.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyways, you know,
And you can't bring biasness into this, Randy. This is money. This is
Yeah.
real fake money that we're playing with
Yeah,
here.
this is the real stakes.
well, I really think the Cowboys are going to win 6 games, and
No
that's
way
it.
you actually think that. Okay,
I
And
do.
then they're,
but
and
okay,
then they're
wait,
going to
wait.
win 6 more.
To be fair, you're and then they'll
Yeah,
be
that-
6 and then they'll be 6-2, and then they'll win 6 more. Is this prediction based on injuries, or what if I told you that the
It's based
Cowboys were
on-
gonna what if I told
they
you the
fucking
Cowboys were gonna be
suck.
injury free? What if I told you the Cowboys are gonna be injury free?
6 wins.
There's no okay then, but you just said that Dak's gonna get hurt week 5. So you're
Well,
your
I was just
opinion
being
that-
I was being
okay.
an asshole.
So if I told you they're gonna be completely injury free in the worst division in football, you would say 6 wins. What if
6.
what if there were injuries?
Shit, 0.
1. Yeah.
You're fucking. They won
You know-
6 last year with Andy Dalton
Yeah,
and
he's a
Garrett
fucking
Gilbert.
Red Rocket, baby. Don't
Oh my
sleep.
god! No. You just talk shit about him over Justin Fields. You can't
Hey.
go back and forth.
Trust me.
Okay, trust me. I love that. That's my favorite Randy line is trust me.
Hey.
What
When he runs
week,
out of points, he says trust me.
Fucking
in what
trust
week
me.
does Jerry Jones get injured?
Shit, he's probably.
That's when I'll go back on this opinion. All right.
You know what? If this, so say it gets all right. You know
6
what?
wins. I'm so
Let's-
confident in
let's make it
winning this one
fucking-
over Randy.
Let's make a reckless takes bet right here. If it's over 9.5,
You're already out of money.
no, a real bet.
Okay, no, I like where it's going actually. Okay, I have one in mind too. I hope we have the same one.
All right, you go first. You go first then.
Okay, I'll say let's meet in the middle. And if the Cowboys go over 8 wins or under 8 wins, that decides who wins.
Okay.
Right. All right. And so if the Cowboys win, and if it's 8, it pushes. Okay. So if they win under 8, I'll get a Saints tattoo. If it goes over, you get a Cowboys tattoo.
Deal.
Okay. Cool.
But it can't be like on your head or
No,
your
no,
neck.
yeah. It'll be small.
That's for the rest of your life, Randy.
Hey, that's okay.
And you're
Deal.
gonna lose this bet.
Hey, And all right, and
it's 17 games.
it has to be
17 games.
the weekend or the weekend after the season ends.
Okay.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
And you better write it down.
No, I will.
What are you
I will.
talking
And
about?
It's
It
gonna
could be the week. It could be the week
week
that they
this
win
season,
their
yeah.
9th
Oh.
game.
yeah.
I guess because they're gonna lose
Yeah.
9 straight. You're right. So
It can be like a little it'll be like something small, like a 2-inch by 2-inch, and it can be like somewhere not showing.
yeah, on my
I'm
nipple.
not gonna make him put it on his fucking arm because I'm gonna
Right
win this
fucking
bet.
year.
Oh, I'm excited for this one. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. That's exciting. I'm pretty confident in this one. All right.
Me too. I'm obviously very confident. And if the Giants win the division and win the Super Bowl, y'all both have to get a Randy is a big cock and king.
Big
All right.
cock and king. All
All
right.
right, but if
good.
they don't, you have
I'll
to
suck
get
both
one
y'all
for
up.
us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just want a little BG. All right. The Seattle Seahawks, 12-4 last season. The upcoming season, they have the tied for the 11th toughest schedule. Key additions: Alden Smith, Gerald Everett.
Smith
I
is
don't know.
gone.
Alden Smith isn't there anymore.
He got cut.
Really?
Yeah, he got in like some legal trouble.
Oh, geez, that's.
Yep.
I love Alden Smith. Maybe he'll come back to the Cowboys. Key losses:
That's perfect.
Greg Olson, who I'm assuming retired. KJ Wright, Shaquille Griffin, Carlos
big
Hyde.
loss.
Who Griffin?
Yeah,
Griffin and Wright both.
They
couple of
lost-
big
they lost
losses.
both the Griffins.
Is one of the Griffins the one with one hand?
Yeah, he's with the Dolphins.
Okay, good guy. I like that guy. So their over under is 10. I will start here and just say that I'm going to go over. I think that a lot of people are going to be down on the Seahawks because things kind of wavered there at the end. Russell Wilson got off to an unbelievably hot start. He kind of cooled off, and as he always does. What else was I going to say about them? Jesus Christ. I think that all the drama this offseason was unfortunate, but I kind of waver more on the side of where I am with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers is that he's just incredibly skilled. And it doesn't matter that he called out his offensive line on national radio. I still think that they're going to perform. And I like them to be towards the top, if not at the top of this division. Taylor, what do you think?
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that they start off. He always starts off hot, and he always tails off at the end there.
Mhm.
But I still think they're going to tie for first in the division with 12 wins. I mean, give me Russell Wilson, and you're going to give me 10 wins. Like,
Yeah,
it just
at
doesn't.
least, right?
He gives it all at first, and then they go like 1-5.
Just pull out a Ben DiNucci trading card. Okay. All right. Anyway,
Yeah, so I'm over with 12
who
wins.
else do you have tied with them at 12?
The Rams.
Okay, that makes sense. Randy, what do you think?
Well, since I was so high on Cardinals and the Rams and the Niners,
You got to be
I'm
low on
under.
someone.
and this has nothing to do with the drama. I don't think the drama affected them anyway. Russell Wilson was just telling them they fucking suck. But I do think this team's going to win 7 games. Russell Wilson's stud. He's probably going to be in the MVP talks, but for some reason, I'm not high on them. And I think this is the end of the road for Pete Carroll. For some reason, he doesn't call the right shit. He should have ran it in on the 1 yard line. But
Okay, 7
A
years
long
ago.
time ago.
7 wins. 7
look,
years
I
ago
saw-
for 7 wins.
Here's one where I'm happy with my results. I did the same exercise that I tried to do with the Packers. To Taylor's point, give me Russell Wilson and you get 10 wins: 12-4, 11-5, 10-6, 9-7, 10-5, 10-6, 12-4, 13-3, and 11-5. And I believe that's all in his tenure. And then 7-9 the year before he was drafted. So yeah, I mean, I just have a hard time thinking that all of a sudden they're going to drop down 4 wins below the lowest that he's had since he was drafted. Randy's having a completely different conversation.
No, I hear you. I can hear you still. I
don't buy it.
I just don't.
If I had to be down on a team in this division, like I'm already down on the 49ers. If I had to pick, you can be down on the Rams, the Seahawks, or the Cardinals. I'd take the Cardinals, even though I was pretty confident in their over. If I had to pick one to have a really disappointing season, because it's going to happen to one of them, it would be the least consistent team in this division.
There goes $2,000, Kyle.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm like, well, yeah. If I had to pick one to have like surprisingly disappointing season, I'd probably pick the Cardinals. Actually, other than the 49ers. All right.
Let's hope the Seahawks O-line is not dog shit again.
Well, that's the thing with that whole. This is a whole nother conversation with that whole ordeal about him calling out his offensive line. They ranked middle of the road. He is always been known for holding onto the ball too long and not picking his times to scramble correctly and taking really bad sacks. He was number 1 in PFF had a ranking of quarterbacks that took unnecessary sacks, and he was the most. So it was a really weird. If I was an offensive line, I would have gone on another fucking radio show and called him out. I thought that was a little ridiculous. That just inability to read the room by Russell Wilson and not being able to point out your own flaws, which is, I think, in itself one of the biggest flaws in an athlete. All right, now that the Russell Wilson roast is over, I just want to win in on him for a second there. The Minnesota Vikings went 7-9 last season. They have the tied for 5th toughest schedule upcoming. They added Patrick Peterson, Mackenzie Alexander, Christian Darrisaw they drafted. They added Xavier Woods, Dalvin Tomlinson. They lost Kyle Rudolph. They lost Anthony Harris and a couple of corners who I don't recognize. Their over-under is 8.5 wins. Randy, where do you fall?
I got him over. I
At what?
went
At like 9?
9, 10. I really like the receiving core, man. I really like Justin Jefferson. I like Dalvin Cook. It's really going to be on Kirk Cousins. They just
As it
re-signed.
always is. He always fails.
Yeah. They just signed Everson Griffin back after a year of him being away from them. Their defense is okay. Something's telling me that Kirk Cousins is going to have a year where we're all like, okay, maybe we should stop talking shit about Cousins. Justin Jefferson, and then you got Justin Jefferson, who's a fucking stud already.
Yeah.
I mean, people are already putting him in top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you're really high on Adam Thielen.
Damn.
I mean, and I'm really, really high on Irv Smith Jr. I'm fucking so high on him. I took him in like the 5th round.
Jesus Christ. Well, I do that's a mistake. If that's the case.
I'm really high on him, sir. 10 wins. I mean, I think Christian Darrisaw could be second best O line out of the draft. Obviously, I think Peninsula's a bitch, but yeah, 10 wins, sir.
I'll go ahead and take over. I don't have a whole lot to say about them. This is probably one of the teams that I know the least about and have watched the least over the last few years. I just know that Kirk Cousins has a knack for his inability to perform when it matters. I'm going to take the under only slightly. This is the only division that I have 3 unders on the Bears, Lions, and the Vikings. So I don't know if that math really adds up, but I'm going to take the slight under at 8 wins. I even in a 17-game season, I just don't see this as a positive team. I do like their offense a lot. Their defense, they did a full overhaul. I just listed off like 7 defenders that they added, but I don't think that any of them are big time adds. I think that, like I said earlier, they're placeholders. So I don't see this as an over 500 team. So I'll go 8 and 9.
Have you ever heard of a scarier statement than it's all going to be on Kirk Cousins?
and he's known to fold in those
Yeah.
situations, right?
Right.
I mean, he beat the Saints.
The primetime thing can't
Yeah,
be
he did.
nothing, right?
I mean, it's
No,
definitely
of course it
something.
can't.
Like fucking win a Monday Night Football game already. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but until it doesn't really seem like he's going to take that big leap forward in year 8 or 9 or whatever the hell he's in now.
Yeah.
But I will say I have them under. I have them under 7 wins just because I have the Packers so dominantly winning that division. But there's something to be said about his just absurd, maybe absurd is the wrong word, just his reaction to being asked to get the vaccine. And I don't know what that does to a locker room where he's just so committed to like just
Being an asshole.
I don't know if you've heard I don't know if you've heard the comment that he would just sit in a glass box on the sideline or whatever. Like it just I don't know. I've never been on a football team, obviously, what that kind of selfishness would do to a locker room.
Yeah.
And
Especially when you're a white guy. That's
yeah,
not for nothing.
right. And I've always said I hate white quarterbacks. And so
Put me on the record.
yeah, write it down right now. No, but 7 wins seems generous, but that's just kind of where they fell.
All right. I think if you put even like one tier better of a quarterback, like someone in like the Derek Carr range with this offense, it's notably higher win total. I just don't trust Cousins. All right. So we have 2 more teams left. I will save the reigning Super Bowl champs for last. We'll do the Washington football team. Their number is 8.5 wins. Last season, they were NFC East champions at 7 and 9.
Yes, Sirski.
They went, their strength of schedule is tied for 15th. So right in the middle of the road. They lost a couple of offensive linemen. They lost Ronald Darby, Alex Smith to death. They added Ryan Fitzpatrick. They added William Jackson III at the corner. They added Curtis Samuel. They drafted Sam Cosmi out of UT. They also got offensive lineman Eric Flowers. Is Eric Flowers still any good, Randy?
He's decent.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not like crazy.
Like a solid bet, right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, so
could be better.
I'm going to take the under ever so slightly. This is actually the closest one for me. I really debated on this one. As I've said, I'm really into studying this division. I love their defense. I just think that they are going to be absolutely abysmal on offense, as they were last season, where every game is like, I hope we win 13-10. Whether it's Fitzpatrick or whether it's Taylor Heineke, I just don't think they have the weapons to do anything. Antonio Gibson has been struggling all summer with a big toe injury. So whatever that means, if he's out, J.D. McKissick isn't going to be doing anything big for them. They have a couple of solid receivers. There's not that number one ace. I'm not completely sold on Terry McLaurin to be a number one for sure guy. So I'm gonna go under at 8 just off the strength of their defense. But the Cowboys are the only team that I'm really high on. Randy?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
But
No, you go.
I'm gonna go.
This is great podcasting.
I'm gonna go under as well. I predict that predict they'll win six games and that's it. But I also predict they'll go 2-0 and then lose. Go 4-11.
Who are their first two games? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but it's that Fitz magic. It's just something you don't play with,
Yeah, here I actually have it pulled up. Their first three games are the Chargers, the Giants, and the Bills.
So it's
They have
not
a pretty
unheard of.
Jesus, man. They have a pretty tough schedule.
15th toughest.
They have just the beginning is tough. It must get easier as the year goes on. But listen to this. They have the Bills, and then they get like the Falcons. But then they have the Saints, the Chiefs, and the Packers, and then a bye, and then the Bucks. That's a rough fucking stretch.
So those are losses.
Yeah, for real. And then they have the Cowboys. They're gonna get beat by 60,
Yeah, or 6.
Yeah, or 6, one of the two.
I got over 9 wins. I like Fitzmagic just enough to get him in the playoffs. They're not gonna do shit in the playoffs. They added Curtis Samuel, who was really good with the Panthers, and he's gonna come over back with Ron Rivera. They do really good with Ron Rivera. Their defense is solid.
It is incredibly.
I just think 8 wins is too small for them, and maybe
8.5. To be fair.
Yeah, but you said 8.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe Fitzmagic comes and fucking plays like dog shit, and fuck, Taylor Heineke's gonna come in, and I bought that Taylor Heineke card from you, and it's gonna go up to $1 million.
I'm gonna be really sad if that's worth more than I sold it to you for.
But yeah, 9 wins. They're barely gonna make the playoffs. And that leads the Cowboys to being 3rd in the division. I know you're upset. It is what it is.
Not upset, it's not gonna happen. Okay. Reigning Super Bowl champions.
4-win Cowboys.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season went 11-5, which I think means absolutely nothing. They're like kind of like the Lakers to me, which like regular season. Okay, cool. We'll see you in the Super Bowl. Yeah. They have the 29th easiest schedule, which is just unfair. That sounds weird when I say that. They have the 29th best strength of schedule. Their opponents went 125 and 145. They had almost no additions and no losses, as you would expect from the Super Bowl champions.
They brought everybody back.
They added Giovanni Bernard, who I think is a very, very solid signing at running back, something where they had a lot of inconsistencies last year. At the same time, losing LaShawn McCoy, perfectly fine trade-off.
Yeah.
And they added Kyle Trask at backup quarterback, and that's all I really had to say about that. Their number is 11.5, which I think Vegas kind of nailed that one. I don't love hammering the over under super hard. I'm gonna take the over at 12. And like Taylor keeps saying, it's just a 17 game season thing. I have a really hard time seeing this team go 11-6. I think 12-5 sounds like a really good number for them. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm going over. I got them winning 15.
Wow.
Unless, Tom Brady has that big like downfall. But they brought everybody back. So obviously the chemistry is definitely going to be there. And the receiving core is fucking studly. Their defense is studly. They're not my Super Bowl picks, but 15 wins doesn't seem impossible.
I think there's two trains of thought there when you're deciding this team's regular season. It's were they 11-5 because Tom Brady needed some time to adjust in the offense, or did they go 11-5 because they have the Lakers mentality of who cares about the regular season? Because if you think that it's just that Tom Brady doesn't go full effort in the regular season, then I would think they would still have a middling record. But if you just think that Tom Brady needed time, then you're right. There's no reason to think that they won't win 14, 15 games.
Yeah.
Taylor, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go 14 wins as well. They're going to come back. They're going to cruise. They do have a super, super easy schedule.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they'll meet the Giants. They'll meet the Packers again in the conference finals, and we'll see how it goes.
I am so fucking excited for Cowboys and Bucks week 1. And I'm not thinking too hard about the result because I just want to be excited for kickoff.
Well, you'll be at work, so
yeah,
we'll let you
I know. I'm going to try really hard to get my boss to let me off at 7, so I can at least try to be back by like 7:45. Because as of right now, I'm gonna be back at like 8:45, and Second half will still be fun to watch, but
Or just tell him to take over for you
He's
because
probably-
he screwed us.
how does? Oh yeah, I screwed us from
probably
going to the
listening.
Astros game. He's probably not listening.
I'm going to tell him to listen.
Jake, if you're listening to this, send me a text, and it'll mean a lot. All right, that is it for the NFC. This took longer than I expected, which I don't know how, because I always say that every episode. I'm like, this took longer than I expected. So we will do the AFC next week. If you're listening to this, make sure to check back. I'm honestly, as much as I'm more so invested in the NFC because of my Cowboys roots, I'm more excited to talk about the AFC. I think that I had more tough decisions to make in that conference than I did in the NFC.
Who's your Super Bowl favorite for the NFC?
You're gonna love my
Mine's the
choice.
Cowboys.
Mine's the Cowboys. It honestly is, and I think anyone who knows me can attest to. And I actually have a podcast I can go back and listen to from last season. I don't just say Cowboys to the Super Bowl because I really think that, barring no injury setbacks, that this should be an excellent team.
I like the Packers.
Packers, yeah.
I
No,
think
I cannot
Rodgers is
argue
going to be on
that.
a mission.
And the biggest thing is I'm having a lot of faith that the Cowboys offense will be so elite that it can completely overcome a lower, if not lowest tier defense.
Yeah.
And I think that history works against me in that argument. So I'm not going to be hammering any Cowboys to the Super Bowl bets or anything. But right, y'all.
You should.
I got the Rams.
yeah,
Oh,
I
that's a good
I
thing.
think that the majority of the NFL world would probably agree with you that they're at least in the top 2 or 3.
Hey, Kyle,
Yes, sir.
you know who has better odds to win the Super Bowl than the Cowboys? The Titans, the Browns, the Rams, the Ravens, the 49ers.
It's hard to argue with any of those because they all have better defenses. Although the Titans defense would be the closest
No,
one.
don't go off fucking Madden.
No.
Like,
If you go down that roster, yeah, I actually forgot that happened. That I got fucked over by the defense in Madden. No, if you go down, it's just that they're lacking defensive playmakers. And at the end of the day, like, that's what you need. You need that guy. You need what JJ Watt is supposed to be. What TJ Watt is. You need those guys in the playoffs.
they're probably gonna have me. They called me up.
Okay. So we'll be back next week with the AFC. Subscribe.
Leave a 5-star, and if you leave a 4-star, write a
If you
fucking
leave a
review.
4-star
Pussy.
without any fucking comments, you're a piece of shit, and you'll
I'll
never be
find
loved.
you. I'll fucking find you, fucker.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.